Well, welcome to it. We're just going to look at some of the biggest business news that has come out today. Naspers CEO Koos Bekker will be stepping down from the board for a year. The move is effective from the 1st of April. We're joined now by Koos Bekker, who's on the line from Cape Town to unpack this. Koos, thank you so much for joining us. This must have been something that you discussed at length. Was it a hard decision to make?
Really, no. I thought for a moment to hang on like Bob Mugabe. I just heard that you did a piece on him, but on second reflection, the internet is actually manufactured by young people. So I think it's an excellent moment to hand to Bob. He's 41 and one of the smartest guys in e-commerce anywhere in the world.
Some would also ask the question, though, that he does live in the Netherlands. How does that impact your company? Are you guys is he going to be working from there, or is he going to come down to South Africa or sorts?
No, he'll stay in Holland. We've got two South African companies. One is MultiChoice, and the chairman is Nalo Latele, and the CEO, Imtiaz Patel. And then Media24, the print side, Rachel Jafta and Esmery Weideman, they all live in South Africa. But the Naspers company is now a global company. Most of our assets are abroad. The small minority of our interest in South Africa. And we don't really care where people live. Some Hong Kong, some Poznan in Poland, some in Sao Paulo. Yeah. They can live anywhere they like. But when we have a meeting, let's say Buenos Aires, we expect them all to pitch there.
Okay. And Koos, to use a soccer analogy, considering that you said you intend to travel widely and research where the group's next spurt of growth may come from, one would say that you're going to be on a scouting mission, to use a soccer analogy. Is that the case?
Yes. We've been lucky. We started off in pay TV, more or less the first in the world outside the US in the 80s. Then we moved to cellular telephony with MTN in the 90s, then to the internet, then to e-commerce about 5 years ago. So I think e-commerce will run still, but 2 years from now, it'll be hard to find new investments that are good. There's too much dumb money coming into the market. So we'd like to know where to go then. And my job is to look at the world and to maybe come back with fresh ideas.
And when you talk about maturity, do you mean within those 2 years? You talk about how once e-commerce has reached maturity then? Yeah.
It's the same. If you take cellular telephony, you could launch a cellular company between 1991 and let's say 97 or 98. And after that, all the good countries are taken. So cellular telephony is still a great business today. But after that date, let's say 98, you couldn't find any new investments in the world. So we think e-commerce will be a great business 50 years from now. But the good countries and the good slots, I think, will be taken in the next year or two. So we need to start thinking beyond that already.
Quickly, just a quick one on this one. Are you still foregoing your salary? Many have held that as quite an important feature you've held at Naspers. Will you still be foregoing a salary no matter what position you hold within the group?
Yes, I rather like that. I think one of my colleagues once said that if you hold a pistol to someone's head, it concentrates the mind wonderfully. So if you take no salary back home to pay the Pick n Pay bills, and you have to make the share worth a little more, you think, when you sit in the bath, you tend to think about that.
Fantastic. Koos, thank you so much for joining us on the line there. Of course, the share hasn't really moved. If anything, it's moved upwards slightly, 1/3% by 12 o'clock or so. Thank you again for joining us. That was CEO of Naspers, Koos Bekker, joining us, of course, after he has announced that he will step down as CEO of Naspers for a year and return, hopefully, as Tencent CEO, perhaps in April 2015. Time now for a quick break. More news and a weather update just ahead.
Know more about your world. ENCA.com